Okay, well, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, well, thanks a lot for this change. We are joining this event and also participation on this event. Well, for our research, the title is about the effect of blended learning on students' English for specific purposes, achievement at hospital administration's department. For the first, I would like to introduce myself and also my member. For the first, me, Naajihah Mafruudloh. I am from Universitas Muhammadiyah Lamongan, and for my the second or my friends is Ibu Rahima Fitriati from Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang. Okay, well, for the first, I would like to tell you that the research setting for this paper is at Universitas Muhammadiyah Lamongan in Hospital Administrations Department. Okay, well, for the first, I would like to share you about the research background. So there will be some aspect or some point on my slide. For the first is about pandemic COVID-19 because this research happened in pandemic COVID-19, and for the second, online learning, and the third, blended learning, and also class 1 learning media. As on my paper before that, those aspects or have relations in each other. For the first, in this pandemic situations, some of institutions, design an online learning because they have to prevent the pandemic COVID-19, so they have to make the learning process in online situations. Now, in online learning, we have some support system like a learning media, then internet connections, then the competency of the students and also the teacher in operating the devices and also the applications for the online learning process. And after that, we have blended learning. And then the last one, learning media. Yes, of course, in online learning, we need a lot of learning media, such as internet connections, then computer, and a lot of applications to support our learning process. And then the next, we have 3 research questions here. For the first, how did the educator implement blended learning in ESP class? Why ESP class? Because it happened in hospital administration students, which is the material has specifications on the hospital administration services. So we use English specific purposes class here. And the second, does blended learning have a statistically significant effect on teaching English for economy and business students? Now on the research questions, we have experiment research design. We have 2 groups. Then we give them one blended learning and another, there is no blended learning on another class. And then the last, what are the problems faced by the students in blended learning? So there will be interview to answer these research questions. Okay, for the first, we adopted from Crystal 2001 that computer as a teaching and learning media becomes more advantageous when it is connected to the internet. It means that when the computer as a teaching learning media, then we connected it to the internet, and we have a lot of communications with the people who have long distance or and after that we can communicate with them. Now it is due to the internet permits people to engage in a multi-party conversations online. Yeah, of course we use it on our online learning and also process. Then after that, from Vaughan 2007, blended learning is an approach of combinations between distance and face-to-face learning. It is advantage potential to incorporate the strength of synchronous and also asynchronous learning. And the last from Howell 2018, blended learning in language teaching guides the language instructor in understanding the practice and implementations of this approach. So those research or review of related literature very support our research and some theory on my paper. Okay, well, for the next presentations and also the next slide, we present by Ibu Rahima.
Alright, for this research method, we are using quantitative descriptive study method. So we are collecting data from the theories and also implemented in the class, and we are using experiential research. So we do two tests, which is published after post-test and also pre-test. And for the research instrument, we are using questionnaire, and we are using questionnaire and also a score of students. Next. All right, from the research data, we are the finding and from the research are, so there are not all of the difference between face-to-face learning and also learning. There are several difference, especially in a content, especially in a form, also time, place, and flexibility, and content, and also teachers' preparations, and material and distribution, interactions, and interactive reach. So from the content focus, it's still the same, it's student center. And from the form, for the face-to-face learning, it's always synchronous, because when we are teaching, the students are in front of us and it's at the same time. But when we are doing e-learning, it can be asynchronous, but it can be synchronous also. But in this research, it is asynchronous, because it can be recorded and can be delivered to the students later. And from time, all of the face-to-face learning and also learning can be as a schedule. And for the place, a learning may be more flexible because it can be done anywhere. And from the for the face-to-face learning, it's more stable and durable rather than e-learning dynamic and sensory. For teachers' preparation, it's more extensive preparation for the e-learning, because maybe it needs time to prepare for the device and that can be delivered online. And also for material distributions, mostly in face-to-face learning, it's using hard copy, and for the e-learning, it's using maybe PDF or that kind of electronic things. And for interactions, face-to-face learning more spontaneous than e-learning is using structured interactions. And for interactive reach, e-learning more limited than face-to-face learning, which can be full interactivity. Next. Okay. And the effect of blended learning on ESP students when we were doing pre-test and also post-test. For the pre-test score, standard deviation is 12.58, and in a post-test, the score is the mean score is was increased from 63.95 to 75.14. Okay. So according to the result of the computation shows the significant value was 0. So it means that significant effect of the blended learning on students' SP achievement at the end. Next. Okay, but there are also problems faced when we will implement blended learning. The first is proper media. So the teachers need to prepare a lot of proper media, not only for delivering the teaching material, but also from student tasks. And from the time allotment, it needs a lot of preparation, so it needs longer time for prepare it, and also instructional. Next. Okay. Okay, that's all about our presentations.
Okay, well, that's all about our presentations. Thanks a lot. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.